Creating a GoCPS account. You will start creating your GoCPS account from the GoCPS website. The URL for this website is go.cps.edu. Once you reach the home page of the GoCPS website, you will click the Apply Now button found in the top right corner. This will take you to the login page. Regardless of whether you have had an account in the past, everyone will need to create a new account the first time you come to this page. On the next page, you will be asked to put in your information, starting with your parent or guardian's first name and last name. Then you will add your phone number. And then you will add your parent or guardian's email address. This should be the email address that you check the most often. You will actually add your email address twice, and it must match. Next, it will ask you to enable text notifications and email notifications. You can select either one or both, but you must select at least one. The next question will be your preferred language. And then you need to create a password. The password must be at least 6 characters long and have 2 of the following: lower and uppercase letters and numbers, and at least 1 special character. Make sure you keep your password in a safe place. Once you have finished filling out this page, you will click the Create Account button. Congratulations, you have created your GoCPS account. Navigating through the application. When you log into your GoCPS account, you will be brought to the page shown here known as the dashboard. You can always navigate back to this page by clicking the word dashboard in the top left corner. You can also change the language that you view the page in. You will notice that the parent name is up at the top, and right underneath are any students that you have added to this account. If you need to add additional students, you can click the Add a Student button here. My first student has 8 completed applications, designated by the green checkmark. You can view those completed applications by clicking View All. My second student has an application packet that has not yet been completed. If I hit the Continue button, I will be taken back to the last step that I had saved. We are going to look now at a completed application packet. From here, I can see any events that I have scheduled on the left-hand side of the screen and all of my completed applications on the right-hand side of the screen. If I need to modify or reschedule an event, and there are still reschedules available, I can click the Modify RSVP to do so. If I need to re-rank or add or select programs, I can do so by clicking the Edit Ranking button or the pencil icon. When I click those buttons, I will be taken right back into my application. You will notice that there is a menu on the left-hand side of the screen. You can click any of the steps that you had current or previously been to navigate to that step. You will also notice that there is a circle in the top right corner that shows how many steps you have completed out of the total number of steps. In the top left corner, you will see a little arrow back button. Do not press this button as it will take you to the very first screen and you will have to start the application from the beginning. If you do need to navigate to the last step, use the menu here. If you need to add or remove programs, navigate to the Program Selection step like I have done. Then scroll down and add programs just as you had before. If you need to remove programs, you can just unselect the box. If you make any changes on this page, please make sure to save and continue. If you have added or removed any programs, you may be asked to re-rank your choices. You can also re-rank your choices at any time before the application deadline. If you add or remove any programs, make sure that you then navigate to the last step and submit your application one more time. Adding a student with a CPS ID. Once you have created your account, you will be taken to the dashboard. We then need to add the students to the Guardian account. Before we do that, if you need to see the application in a language other than English, you can select the little drop down here and select the language that you need. So, for example, if I select Español, I can turn the entire page into Spanish. To add a student to my account, I am going to hit the Get Started button found in the middle. Then I am taken to the Get Started page. As I scroll down, the first question that will be asked is, does your student have a CPS ID? Regardless of whether your student is a current CPS student or not, if they have ever had a CPS ID, you must select yes. If you are unsure of what that CPS ID is, please call our office. You will then put in the student's ID number, their first and last name, and their date of birth. The first and last name and date of birth must match exactly the information that you have given to CPS. That means that if your name has hyphens or apostrophes, make sure you add them as well. Once you've filled out these 4 fields, you will hit the I agree button down here and then continue on to the application. This button is found right here at the bottom. Adding student information for students with a CPS ID. Once you are in the student application, the first 2 fields ask for student information. You will notice that some of this information will be pre-populated since you have linked a student with a valid CPS ID. First name and last name will pull in. If you would like to add a middle name, you can do so here. As I scroll down, you'll notice that several of these fields have already been pre-populated, but they are still editable. The question of your child's primary language can be added or changed by clicking the little arrow and bringing up the list of available languages. If you are interested in an EL Regional Gifted School, you must select Spanish or Polish here. The next 2 questions on this page ask about race and ethnicity. These both are optional questions. Feel free to move on to the next step without filling them in. On the second page, we are asking for student address. You will notice that if the address is pre-populated, this will not be editable. If you notice that your address on this page is incorrect, please submit your correct address to your current school. Once the address is corrected at your school, the correct address will pull into this application automatically. As you can see, the grade level and grade applying to level have also been filled in, as well as the current school that you are attending. Once you are completed with this page, hit Save and Continue to move on to the next step. Student grades and GPA for students with a CPS ID. When you come to the Student Grades page, you will notice that all of these fields are uneditable. These grades will pull directly from Aspen. If you notice that the grades are incorrect or missing, you will need to contact the administrators at your child's school and they will have to put the grades in. Once they put the grades in, this screen will be populated. You can just move on to the next step. Adding a multiple. Multiples are students that have the same birthday in the same birth year. So if your child is a twin, triplet, etc., please select yes and move on to the next step. If your child is not a multiple, you can select no and you will be taken straight to the sibling information step. If you select yes, the next page will ask for the number of multiples. Once you select the number of multiples, you can save and continue to the next step. If you have more than 5 children born on the same day, please contact the Office of Access and Enrollment. The next step will ask for the details of the twin. Put in the CPS ID number and the first and last name. If you have triplets, on the next step, it will ask you for the details of your third multiple. This is the way that students that are born in the same year on the same day can be linked together when we go through the applications. Sibling and staff preferences. The next 2 steps are for students that are applying to schools in which they have a sibling or a parent who is a CPS employee. For the sibling information, if you have a sibling that is going to be attending the school during the year that you are applying for, you can select yes and fill out all of this information in order to get the sibling preference. Notice that all 6 of these fields are required. If you need to add additional siblings, you can hit the little plus sign here. You can add as many siblings as you need. If you need to delete a sibling, you can click the little trash can and that will disappear. For students who have parent or guardians that are employees of CPS, you would select yes if you are applying to a school in which your parent or guardian is currently employed. Note that staff preference is only applied for entry-level grades, and only 2 students for that entry-level grade will get selected. Selective enrollment schools do not participate in staff preference. If you select no, you can save and continue to the next step. If you select yes, on the next screen, we will ask for the details of your parent or guardian that is employed by CPS. The first, last name, the location that they are working, and their CPS employee ID are required. If you have a second parent or guardian that works at CPS, you can put their information in here. The second parent or guardian's information is not required. Once you complete this step, you can hit save and continue. Submitting diverse learner information. If you are a current CPS student, you will not see this screen. Your diverse learner information will be uploaded to your application automatically. If you are not a CPS student, you will have 5 questions on this step to answer that are all required. If you select yes to any of the 3 in the middle, pertaining to IEPs, 504s, or service plans and hit Save and Continue, on the next step, you will have the option to upload your documentation. Note, this is an optional step and you can continue through the application without uploading any documents. If you do choose to upload a document, choose your file by clicking on the little cloud icon. JPEGs and PDFs are accepted. Searching for the right program. When trying to find the right programs to apply to, it is best to start at the GoCPS webpage. If you go to the About GoCPS dropdown and click School Search, you will be taken to our school locator. From here, you can type in a name of a school, your home address, or a zip code. You can also narrow down your search by clicking through the following filters: proximity, grades or ratings, program types, or program groups. Once you find a school that you would like to look into, you can click the name of the school to pull up that school's profile page. Scroll through this page to find more information specific to this school. If you click on the Admissions tab, you can see exactly what the requirements are to apply and how the selections for this program will be run. You can also find some application data from the previous year. Note, the number of applicants and the number of offers will always refer to only the entry-level grade of that school. For Adams, which is the school we are on, these are the numbers from last year's kindergarten class. Searching, sorting, and filtering programs within the application. Once you reach the program selection step of the application, you will notice that your designated neighborhood school will be here at the top. As you scroll down, you will see keywords that will help you in your search. The search bar is located here, and you can use it by typing in the name of a school, the program, or any of the keywords that are listed above. As you scroll down, you will notice the list of schools. They are default sorted by distance from the address that was provided in step 2. If you would like to change the order that the schools are in, you can filter and sort by clicking this button here. From here, you can filter by types of schools or change the way it's sorted, distance, alphabetically, or the ones you have already picked up at the top. If you would like to only show the schools that you have already picked, you can check this box here. Once you have made your selections, click Apply Filters. You can also search by looking at the map view. When opening the map view, you will notice that there are several red pins and a green pin. The green pin designates the address that you had put in step 2. Each of these red pins are schools. If you click the red pin, the name of that school will pop up. To get back to the list of schools, click the X located up here in the top corner. One hint: if you're trying to filter and sort, make sure that the search box is empty. Adding programs to the application. Once you know which programs you would like to add to your application, you can scroll down to start viewing the schools. Use the search and filter features to narrow down the exact schools you would like to see. If you would like to see the available programs at a particular school, you can click the View Programs and Details button. This will pull down a list of the available programs at each school. Note, you must apply to each program, not to the school as a whole. So if you are interested in more than one program at a particular school, please make sure that you select those. Note that as I select a program, a pop-up will show here that tells you exactly how many you have already selected and how many you have left in a particular category. That pop-up will soon disappear, but as you pick another program, it will come right back. Scroll through and find all of the programs that you would like to apply to. When you are done selecting your programs, save and continue to go to the next step. Ranking and re-ranking programs. Once you have made all of your selections, you will then need to rank your choices. As you scroll down, you will see that the categories of schools have been separated. Note that if you have only chosen elementary choice programs, you will not need to rank, as those programs are not ranked. When you are ready to rank, you can click the little arrow to bring down your choice of schools. Notice that the schools that you had selected in the previous step will be populated here. Make sure to rank 1, the school that you would most like to attend, and 5, the school you would least like to attend. As you go through, you will notice that the school that you have already ranked will no longer be available from the drop-downs. If you would like to change the order of your ranking, click the Select Choice option to delete the school from that ranking. Then you can see that it will then pop up in the drop-down. Once you rank all of your schools and programs, you can save and continue to the next step. Remember, you can come back to this step at any point and re-rank your programs up until December 15th and the application window closes. Scheduling entrance exams, auditions, and interviews. If you have selected programs that require admissions screenings, such as entrance exams, auditions, or interviews, you will be asked to schedule those screenings at this step here. For students that are non-CPS and applying to high school, this is where you will schedule your high school admissions exam. For CPS 8th graders applying to high school, you will take the exam in your 8th grade school, and there is no need to schedule the exam. For students who are applying to selective enrollment elementary schools, here is where you will schedule your exam. You can see also that I am going to schedule my audition or my military interview here. You can book the session that you would like to schedule by clicking the Book Session button. You can toggle through the available dates by clicking the 2 blue arrow buttons. Note, the little calendar icon will not pull up a calendar. Up at the top, you will see how many chances you have to reschedule this event. In the location and details, you can see the timings and the exact location of where this exam will be taking place. If you would like to schedule this, you only need to click the time and hit book to confirm it. For your auditions, note that in the details, you can see whether the audition or interview is in person or virtual. Once you have selected and booked all of your admission screenings, hit Save and Continue to move on to the next step. CPS High School Admissions Exam Tutorial for students applying to high school. You will have the option to attend a brief in-person admissions exam tutorial. If you would like to attend this optional event, you can select Yes. If you would not like to attend this event, select No and Save and Continue. If you select Yes, the next step will ask you to book this session. Click the Book Session button to pull up the available times and locations where the tutorial will be taking place. You can navigate through the scheduler in the same way you scheduled your admission screenings. Once you have selected the date and the location that you would like, click the time to submit this booking. Reviewing and submitting your application. Once you are ready to submit your application, there are just a few steps left. The first being your signature. Type your parent or guardian name into the box and the signature will populate below. Click the box below to agree that this is in fact your name. And then go ahead and hit Save and Continue at the bottom of the screen. On this step, you will see a summary of all of the information that is in your application. Scroll through and make sure that everything is correct. If you need to edit or change any of this information, you can click the little pencil icon that is associated with that particular section. You can also navigate to any of the sections by clicking on the menu located on the left side of the screen. If everything is correct, you can go ahead and hit Submit Application. Congratulations, you've submitted your application.